as long as you can be consistent and profitable and control risk, we really want that, and we emphasize that a lot. Control risk, manage risk, and use the strategy you feel the best.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're sitting down with Saul Lokier from The5ers prop firm. We're going to discuss today about the prop firm, what they are going into these days, the new programs they have, but also how you can more easily pass their prop firm challenge, things you can do to kind of become a better prop trader. So Saul is the operation managers at The5ers prop firm, so we'll discuss that more in detail. But Saul, how's it going today?
Hey, Tim. How are you? I'm fine, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to connect for sure. So we have a lot to discuss in terms of your trading experience, also your work at The5ers, maybe some tips for people to use in the prop firm trading. But let's begin with, tell us a bit more about who you are and some background about yourself.
Okay, so yeah, as you mentioned, I'm a trader myself. My specialties in trading is in forex trading. Most of my trading is made in forex. I do invest in other instruments, stocks, and indexes and like that. But my active trading is most in forex. More than today would be around 12 years of trading, and it's main part of my life today. And besides that, also managing all the operations here at The5ers.
That's very cool. So one would ask, that's a general question, but what made you want to join The5ers since you're already trading yourself?
First, I was looking at The5ers as an opportunity to get more funding. So I reached out to Bill, he's the founder. And, as traders, as retail traders, we have that challenge of, where can I get more money, more capital? I do manage, investors' accounts and stuff, but you always want, more capital. So I was looking at The5ers as a funding option. And I reached to Gil, I sent an email, and then we connect, we started talking, and then we realized we could actually work together. So that he invited me to join, and here I am.
Awesome. Well, there's a lot we can discuss about The5ers, but maybe tell us kind of what is the difference between The5ers and other prop firms out there? Because there are plenty of them now, but I'm just curious to hear what's your thought on how you differentiate yourself from the other prop firms out there?
Yeah, I think, of course, I'm very biased. I think, and as you might be aware, Etienne, all this online prep firm industry is going to a very wild direction. We see everyday prop firms popping up every single day. And, someone's just, listening or reading about the industry might get even confused. The sad thing of the story is most of them are not really acting as prop firms. True prop firm has same interest as the traders. Okay, they need the traders to make money, and they share the profits. And most of these new known prop firms are more relying on taking the traders' fees more than their trading activity and their trading positions. So we have we have been trying through the years to fight this trend, but I guess has been the main trend last years. But we still stay in our core values of having the same interest with the traders and making money from their trading activity and not collecting fees from demo accounts challenges. So I would say that's the difference. Where's the common interest between the traders and the firm?
So tell me about the usual path for a trader, because a lot of newbies are looking at prop firms, want to get funded by a prop firm the first time. That's what they try to get first, is the prop firm capital. How long after starting to trade should someone look into a prop firm? Is it in the beginning they should look for prop firms, or it comes later? What do you think is the best kind of way to do it?
I think the best is to start with your own money. I don't think it's the best thing to start with a prop firm money, because you don't really get to feel the responsibility about the money and about the capital you're trading. So I think the best thing is to start with your own account, a very small account where you develop your consistency and your skills. And once you realize you can grow an account and you can manage risk and you can do all those things in a small account, but self-funded, so you are accountable for the losses and you're responsible for the losses, then you can start thinking of, where do I get more capital to trade? So you can go to investors, or you can go to friends and family, or you can come to, of course, prop firms and get more capital available for funding.
Interesting. And so did you ever go into a prop firm yourself to get funding, or did you find other ways to get capital for your own trading?
Yeah, so most of it was I think 5 years ago, I did try one of the challenges before. That was my first experience with these prop firms, with the challenges, and the requirements were very, very high. And of course, 5 years ago, I was in a different place as a trader where I'm today, and the requirements of the challenge was very demanding. And back in time, I didn't pass it. I should give it a try. Try to something like that again. I believe I could do that. As I've grown as a trader. But that's the moment I realized I'm throwing my money. Losing this challenge that could be something doing something else. So that was my first experience, and I was looking for alternatives, and it was through one of your videos reviewing the prop firms available back in time that the name The5ers came in, and I was looking into it, and I realized they have different parameters for funding. So they were, they wouldn't require you to make, I don't know, 10% in 1 month or something like that. They were more realistic about what we're asking, and I connected to that. I think that's more, what we're taught. You're an educator yourself, so you teach your traders to to manage risk and to do risk allocation and all those things that you cannot go and apply that in these prop firm challenges or prop firm demo challenges, but you can apply that in our programs. Okay, so that's why I'm happy and comfortable with what we offer today.
It's funny you mentioned this because this is one of my biggest issue with prop firms, the fact that you cannot treat the prop firm the same way you would treat your own trading, in the sense that like you got a target to achieve, especially like, and it's not the case with your prop firm, but like prop firms, like we won't give any name, but some prop firms have a fixed 30-day challenge, for example. Then in 30 days, it's really hard if you're swing trade to achieve the targets, unless like you take bigger risk, you force things a bit too much. And it's not like you have to trade two different ways in the prop firm versus like within your own normal trading. I think that's a big issue. I think with the 5ers, that would be different, right?
Yeah, it certainly is. This having a time limit to accomplish certain amount of profit that push you to overtrade and to trade unresponsibly, to take higher risks, and it's not something you can keep in the long term. So with us, you will not find that. You will find all our programs have way less restrictions and more time, and we're not even promoting all this high leverage. And we know high leverage is the worst enemy of traders. That's what will eventually kill your account. So we're against. We're a lot of critics about it. Wow, you offer such a low leverage, but that's actually what that keeps you alive. Okay, that prevents you from blowing your account. So we try to stay close to our values. So
interesting. So in a few minutes, I want to discuss more about like your best tips to pass these platform challenge, especially get funded with the 5ers. But I kind of want to go back into, can you tell us like the general terms of the 5ers? If you were to take a challenge, like what's the leverage you have? What's the duration of the challenge you have? And then what kind of target are we aiming to achieve within what kind of drawdown?
Right now we have 3 different models. So we have the instant funding model. That's our core, and it was our first model, where you start trading live from day one, and as long as you meet your first targets, you can withdraw profits. So that's the instant funding. There's no such a challenge or something like that. You have 6 months to accomplish 6% target, so it's around 1% a month. I believe it's achievable, but even if traders request more time, we always grant them more time. So that's the instant funding model. There's the bootcamp. The bootcamp, we wanted to create a model where traders do not have to commit the full amount of trading for the payment until they complete the phases, okay, the challenge phases. So again, we're not relying on them losing the money. We just wanted to give them an opportunity to, I guess it's more for beginner traders that want to try out their strategies and their skills, and they want to try their strategies with a low cost program. So it's just 85 euros to start. And only if you complete the challenge, then you commit the full amount of money. So you start trading live, okay? And you can start withdrawing money, but you don't have to keep losing money on failed attempts. So that was the value and the essence of the bootcamp. And third, and the last one, it's our latest one, is the Freestyle program, which is something you will not find something similar in the industry. There's nothing like that. It's really innovative, and your students having passing the Freestyle, we're very happy about it. We got rid of whatever all limits, top out level, everything. So we're measuring traders by performance and not by getting to a certain profit target or something like that. So we got inspiration from through investment funds and hedge funds, where they measure their traders by performance. So we develop our own factors, performance factors, to measure your consistency and your performance in the account. And all we request is that you can generate in the account more than what you risk in order to generate that. So if you can do that, you'll get funded, and you will get 100% of the profits once you're funded in that account, in that specific program. So that's the Freestyle account, which is something revolutionary, and we love it, and traders love it. And we see once someone tries the Freestyle account, they stop looking somewhere else. They just stay there, because you can really go and trade the way you were taught to trade. And if you're consistent, if you're profitable, then you get funded.
Yeah, so this is your newest program, and I have some questions a lot about it. So, because like it's flexible, it's good for the trader, but then what's your benefit as a platform to give that kind of account to traders? You don't connect any, like you mentioned, any commission on the trader. So how do you make money yourself as a platform?
So once traders are funded, we copy all their trades into another account. So we replicate all the trades. So when they lose money, we lose money, and when they make money, we make money with them. So that's the model behind it.
Interesting. So then it's in your benefit to find traders who are going to perform well. Because if you find a bunch of traders who are not going to perform well or blow up the account, then you're blowing up your own account in the background.
That's why we do need them to pass those factors and show us they can manage risk and perform well, and then they'll get funded. We'll be copying their trades, and we'll be if they lose, we'll lose. If they win, we'll win with them.
So I'm sure, like, we'll put the link below for your website where people can find all the details about the Freestyle plan that you have now. But I'm just curious, what's the number of trades people have to take to be able to get that funding? Is there a minimum number of trades they have to take to get that kind of idea of if they're good or not? Because they cannot just take like 10 trades or something.
Okay, so no, so the requirement is 100 positions. This program is running in a MT5 netting accounts. So you're from Canada, Etienne, so you might be familiar with netting accounts, netting systems, just like in stocks, So if every time you open a trade and you open different orders in the same pair, that will all net together. So that will be all at one position, like netting. And we want to see 100 positions. Okay, so there's no time limit. There's a position limit, okay, of 100 positions.
So if you're going to take, let's say, like 5 trades in the USD CAD, then it's counting as one trade, basically, or one position.
If they're open simultaneously, yes. But if you open and close, and then open and close, those are 2 positions.
Interesting. So 100 positions, which makes sense because you want to have enough time, enough data to show or to understand if traders are really good or not. And that totally makes sense there.
Yeah, and we've seen traders that they pass the Freestyle program in 1 week, and some more swing traders, they take 2 months for that. But it's fine. You have all the time you need, and you don't have to be over trading to find the setups that are not there. So you just wait for your setups, you wait for your trades, you take them, and for some guys will take 1 week, for some guys will take 4 or 5 months even, but they have that option that you don't have anywhere else.
So in a typical challenge or typical like platform account, you would have a max drawdown once you are funded with the platform. Do you have the same thing with the Freestyle account?
Yeah, once funded, in the challenge, you do not have a max drawdown. So the whole idea is to make twice in profit from your drawdown. So if you incur in a, let's say, 5% drawdown through your evaluation, your target would be 10%, okay, twice your drawdown. But there's not a max drawdown. We have had traders making 20% drawdown or 30% drawdown, and then making 60% gain, and they'll stick their funded. Okay, that's something you don't get anywhere else as well. And once you're funded, we do limit that to a 10% maximum drawdown.
Interesting. So that gives you kind of enough room to be able to sustain that. And we discussed leverage before, but I don't think you mentioned what's the leverage people get with the account with the 5ers.
1 to 30. That's for the Freestyle. Okay, 1 to 30, which is enough. You will learn everywhere that you should be risking 1%, 2%, 3% max per position per trade. And 1 to 30 allows you just that. Okay, you will have plenty of leverage, left to trade that way. Of course, guys that are just, they're willing to open and really open and use all the margin of a 1 to 100 or 1 to 200 leverage. I don't think they have an opportunity to succeed in the long term. I mean, so 1 to 30, we believe it's more than enough.
Yeah, it's definitely plenty of leverage. So that's what I use on my own account usually, like 1 to 30, 1 to 50 usually, and it's enough for anything you want. The only issue is if you take like big stop losses, big size, but then that's not good trading anyway. So I've always been fascinated with prop firms offering 1 to 100. It's like a big leverage, but you don't really need that for any prop firm. So tell me, like, the big fear of many traders regarding prop firms is the fact that, let's say they get funded like a big account with your prop firm, and then the prop firm closes or something happens bad to it, and then they're stuck, they have no capital to trade with. Like, how can they be certain that they won't just lose the capital the next day with the prop firm?
Every day. So I'll go check their reputation, how many years have been in business. We've been in business since 2016. There might be one other prop firm, we respect them, around same years. Other than that, most of them have 1 year, maybe a bit more of existence. So reputation is one thing. And the second, where are they making money from? Okay, we take traders' orders to the market. So if they lose or they win, we have no trouble just paying that profit because we're not paying it from our pocket. But traders with other models, and that's very concerning, the fact that they suddenly have to pay a large amount of money and they're not taking the trades to the market. And we have heard, stories like that, companies doing that. I don't know where they're going to pay. They are relying on the fees from the traders for failing traders. And they have displayed, they have shown the statistics. They have been released. The statistics, how many traders actually passed the demo, the challenges. They have a good business model because they say, one in 200 are passing our challenges. So 199 are losing. They're just giving us their money, and we use that money to pay for the one guy that actually passes. With us, the passing ratio is much higher. It's one, depending on the program, it's as close as 1 every 5 traders. Okay, so we're really relying on their trading activity, and not in their fees or something like that.
Yeah, 1 to 5 is pretty high. It's just a matter of that you have programs are more flexible, so it makes sense when people are passing them. So that's it's good. If you had like a 30-day challenge, then of course less people would pass it. So that's a good thing, of course, because then you can have more traders who are maybe good already, like they have the skills, but they don't have enough time to pass a challenge, so they can pass it and get the capital there. So that's a good thing, of course. Now tell me, let's have that topic of like, what are things that people should do to have a better chance of passing a challenge with your prop firm? Are there some things they have to do to prepare first, or something they can do to help themselves to pass your challenge?
There's not a one single answer for this. Okay, we recognize that most traders, they come to us being very, very newbies. Okay, at their first ages of their trading career, and most of them fail. But what's important is, most of them in the first attempt, they might fail, but they need to recognize that if they have improved at anything, okay, having the stop loss there has made you a better trader. Okay, losing low leverage has made you a better trader. Attending our resources has made you a better trader. Traders will be non-profitable, and they will become break-even traders. That's progress. And then from break-even, they can go to profitable. That's progress. So we need to remind ourselves we keep learning and we keep growing as traders. So trying to be open to to learn from the process and trusting that what we put together is for their best benefit and their best interest. So if you think athletes, for example, Ethan, so athletes have a lot of people. There's a huge team working behind the athletes, correct? There's the nutritionists and physicians and doctors and the coaches and the management and all that. And you only see, the Roger Federer, okay, performing. But behind Federer, there's a large team working behind. So we want to be that team for our traders, okay, who provide all the environment, all the resources, all the capital for there to perform. So first, to remind themselves, this is a progress, okay, this is a process. They might fail on their first attempt. The success rate for returning, those who try more than one time, it's way larger. Okay, so allow yourself to learn and to fail and to learn from the failure and recognize the progress you're making as a trader.
Are there any better strategies for passing a prop firm challenge? Like, for example, is it better to trade trend? Is it better to have like a high win rate compared to a high reward, or it doesn't matter much?
It doesn't really matter. We will not take into account your risk reward ratio or your win rate in order to fund you or not fund you. So as long as you can be consistent and profitable and control risk, that's what we really want. That, and we emphasize that a lot. Control risk, manage risk, and use the strategy you feel the best. You feel that suits your lifestyle and suits your your trader profile. And
I'd be curious to hear about some of the habits of traders who've been funded by you. Are there some things they do, like you hear on a daily basis, some habits they have, or like every week to review their trades or something to make them better at keeping their funded accounts?
First, connect to the community. Okay, we have a very nice and supportive community. If every trader who goes to our Discord channel recognizes that's a good place to be. Okay, it's a very, very supportive. We do not allow people without accounts to be there. There's no spammers, no sellers, no nothing. There's just our traders. And having a community to support you is very important. And if from there you can get someone to to stay accountable to, that will make wonders also for your trading. Okay? That will be like your partner. You'll be accountable to him or to the community or to the group. And that will help you to stay consistent and focus. And second, journalize what you do. We offer our traders trading plans and trading courses, and as you keep record of what you're doing, you will have a visual reflection of what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. So you will be able to improve. I know journalizing and having a diary and a trading plan and journal is not very common, and traders, most of them will not do it. But once that they do it, they will they'll thrive exponentially.
Yeah, those are good habits for any kind of trading, not just for prop firm, but like for any kind of trading in general. So that's good. I'm sure people would like to hear about like some of the success stories in your prop firm of people who've got funded. And are there any guys who've been able to reach like the top funding levels in your prop firm and keep it for a while? Can you maybe explain to us about those people?
Okay, as you know, we succeed. We define succeed in many variables. Okay, we do not see success only as making money and going to higher levels of funding, but we do have, as you may guess, the amount of traders in the bottom stages are larger than once you go up and up. There are fewer and fewer and fewer, but we do have very large. We just raised that to the 4 million cap, so we don't have traders at the 4 million, but we do have traders trading 7 figures. We also have many successful traders. They've been with us more than 1 year. Okay, years without funded. A lot. They're doing a career with us. Okay, so they're just withdrawing money every month. So 5-figure checks, 5-figure checks, 6-figure checks, and constantly withdrawing money. So I know out there's many flashy numbers of this trader made $100,000 in 1 month. So we don't have that one trader who has done that, but we do have that traders or many traders who do that amount of money in a certain period of time. So we have traders with us working many time, improving, attending. We offer one-to-one calls, so we see how they get value out of these calls, and they understand something that they were missing, and they improve in their trading. So we have a lot of success stories. We have money success stories and funding success stories, and we have also time success stories and improvement success stories and all sorts. So it's very nice.
Are there any traders in the prop firm that kind of inspire you by not just the money they make, but like what they've done, what they've been able to achieve from where they were before they joined the prop firm?
Yeah, for sure. So we have stories of traders, who they don't even have a phone. A laptop or something. They do everything from the phone. Some of them, from low resources, and they tell us how we are changing their lives. How having this opportunity to trade our monies, they have changes their family's life, and how they've been, finally got able to buy their house, or to pay the mortgage or something like that, by trading with us. So there's a lot of thank you letters we receive, and we're very grateful. You can read some of them in our Trustpilot as well, and yeah, there's some very touching and inspiring stories and traders.
That's awesome, of course. And platforms can really change the game for a lot of people. I know it's a fact because a lot of people, like, I feel like they don't have like a six figure to put in their account right away. And that's the trouble if you want to be able to scale up your trading like quickly. How fast do you think you can scale up your trading with the fivers? Like, is it like, let's say you go from like a 5 figure account to, let's say you want to get to 6 figures and 7 figures. How long do you think that takes for most people? Because you have a pretty good like scaling up plan where every time they make a certain profit, you increase the account size. So how does that kind of work all out?
Yeah, so we have two models of scaling. So there's, on the instant funding program, we have the hyper growth scaling, which on every milestone, 10% milestone, you get twice your account. Okay, your account doubled. So with that, in only 5 or 6 steps, you're only in the you're already in a million accounts. Those traders, they take them about a year together. I wouldn't tell you you can make it this in one in 1 month, 2 months. That would be unrealistic. And there's the Freestyle and Bootcamp scaling program, where you grow gradually, but those targets are lower. So for every 5% target in a bootcamp, for example, you get scaling for every 5% you make. For them would be maybe less time, but usually for traders it takes around 1 year, or no less than that.
Which is pretty good considering like you start with nothing, or you have your own small account, then you move to progressively bigger accounts.
No, for sure. Because also, I'm sorry, Tim, because also in our programs, in our scaling, when someone withdraws money, it's not deducted from their progression towards the milestone. Okay, so if you withdraw 4%, you have 1% to make in order to get the growth. You know what I mean? So in the way to grow their account to the 1 million account, they withdraw nice amounts of money in the process.
So what you're saying is that the withdrawals don't affect the account balance.
The account progression towards the scaling target.
I know we could have questions here for hours for sure. I just we can talk about. The other thing I want to ask you is, what is the impact on the psychology with numbers? Because like they go from let's say people who are trading a $1,000 account, they get funded by a prop firm, they get like let's just take a $50,000 account. Right there, it's like a big jump for them. Then they move progressively to like a 7-figure account. How's the psychology of these big numbers? How does that play out for traders?
There's a emotions challenge involved in there, and we see that. And just in paper trading, you should be taking the same positions with same 1% risk or 0.5% risk, and you should be doing anything different. But in reality, seeing those large numbers, they affect your mind and they affect your emotions. So that's why we try to do this gradually. We try to nurse the traders and to build the traders towards the account. Okay, we will not bring them from a 50K account to a 1 million account. We need them to make this progress. We need to, they need to build like their risk tolerance muscles to get able to trade those accounts. And we offer them a much closer companion from our end. They have open line to me, to the guys here, of course, support, and all the analysts we have here working, because we understand they will face challenges small account traders that will not be facing. So it's important for us, to nurse those high funded traders.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, is like a platform should never be just a firm. It should be like more like part of your team as a trader. It's part of your team around you that helps you kind of propel and become better. So I totally agree with that. And I think that's a really wise move to have some support for traders and people that can coach them. So I know a lot of like big prop firms, like really a lot bigger than yours, don't have any kind of team or people that can contact if you have any issues. And that's not cool. If you have a big account and you're like afraid to lose it, then that's not cool.
Yeah, I agree. So it brings me back to the point where are their interests aligned with the traders and the firm, or they aren't? Okay, if the firm is not taking the trades to the market, so they just want you to lose the account as soon as possible, so you can sign up again. If one of those high funded traders, in our case, they lose the account, we get a large hit. Okay, we absorb that loss. So we do care about all traders, but we also need to be very focused on those high funded traders.
What are some of the areas you think that the Fivers could improve in? Like some things that you think or you could do better or you could improve in the future as the platform?
I think there's a lot of work to be done. Okay, I think all this environment, we're trying to create like a whole workspace for the traders that we haven't accomplished yet. We really want to make them feel as they're coming into the offices. If this was a traditional prop firm and they would have to come to the office and trade on the stands, we would like to be for them as that prop firm, and to make them feel that connection to us. But of course, when we're dealing with thousands of traders, it's make it harder. But we really want to make to create the workspace where traders can come in, even if it's virtually, and feel like they're part of the whole, all this large group of traders trading together and committed to. So that's one I will be working with that next month. And second, we know we should be there's a demand for more assets to trade, and we just recently introduced the indices, and we probably are the last company who introduces indices for trading. We're very focused on forex. We had also gold and silver available, but again, it comes from from our risk management perspective, because we need to change and we need to adapt our risk management models for new assets. So if we're going to introduce crypto, if we're going to introduce new trading assets, we need to work on our models, risk management models and systems, in order to make that happen. So I think that's something we need to improve, to make that faster in order to provide that to traders. And I think that's a big step we need to make.
That's good to hear about. There's always some goods and some bads and some things that could be improved. That's good to hear about for sure. And I think like we send you a lot of our students who get funded by your platform, by the Fivers. I think it's a good thing. So you're doing a good job with them for sure. And so far, the people who got funded with you are really happy about their account and their progress with you. So that's good. But yeah, it's good to hear about the other side of the story too, as well.
Yeah. So if you hear something that you could be useful for us, just let us know. Of course, we're aware of the critics, and we know people want the higher leverage, and they want the challenge model. That maybe that's something we need to start providing, since there's a huge demand for that. Okay, but in the meantime, we try to to provide the best environment and the best and the most supportive one, and a great community, and we're really committed to our traders. I think it's something unique in the industry.
Awesome. No, that's well said. So we have a lot to discuss for sure. We could catch up in the future again and discuss that for sure. There's a lot of topics we could talk about, and especially in regards to how to pass platform challenge. We kind of touched on that a little bit for now. But where can people find you if they connect with you, reach out, or take a challenge with the Fivers?
Yeah, so there's our website is thefivers.com. We're just about to do a full redesign to the website, so expect that. It's going to be really very, very cool. So it's thefivers.com, and if you want to reach out to me, so it's Saul@thefivers.com, or you can send an email to help@thefivers.com, and they can forward it to me or something.
Awesome. I'll put a link below in the description for the video or on the podcast for people to click on that if they want to grab the challenge. I believe you have a discount for your platform. I'm not entirely sure, but if you have one, we'll put it there for sure. People can have a quick discount on the challenge that they take with you, and that would be awesome. And thank you, Saul. I really appreciate your thoughts, your advice here. I think that was really useful for people, and I hope we can catch up soon.